Hi, everyone. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most awaited capabilities using the power of generative AI to reduce the burden on compliance professionals. In May 2025, in the IRM Store release, you are now going to be able to find a new capability which allows your organization to undertake rationalization and deduplication of your control objectives. Now, imagine this scenario. Your organization has recently acquired another company and has integrated the risk and compliance data. As a result, you, as a compliance manager, have control objectives which have doubled in size. You're now faced with a challenge of identifying those duplicative control objectives, many of which serve the same purpose but are written differently. At the same time, you need to ensure that the remaining controls still meet the requirements of applicable regulations. The leadership has asked you to rationalize this expanded control set to reduce the redundancy and lower the overall compliance cost ahead of the upcoming control testing. With generative AI skill for recommendation of similar control objectives, this is very easy. Now let's go in the demo and see how this works. I'm currently logged in as a compliance manager, and I have been tasked to go ahead and rationalize this control objective. I can click the Analyze button over here, which will help me and provide a recommendation of all the controls being control objectives that can be rationalized. Once the rationalization process is over, I can actually see a list of control objectives which the system has provided me to say that which could be rationalized. I currently see that there are two control objectives which can be rationalized as a part of this entire process. I can also click on these control objectives and identify which are the different impacted items on these control objectives. As a compliance manager, I have three options. I can either accept the duplicate suggestion as duplicate, I can dismiss the suggestion of rationalization, or I can retain the control objective as primary. Let me go ahead and retain this one as primary. What I can see now is now this control objective has been retained as primary and it has been tagged such. For the next one, I'm going to accept as duplicate and click submit. So now I have undertaken two different control objectives for the recommended control objectives that could be rationalized. I am going to go ahead and request a review of this rationalization process. As you can see, there are 4 steps in the entire process for rationalizing the control objectives. Somebody has to initiate it, me, what I did with the rationalization and analyzing process. My manager can go ahead and review my recommendations and accept or reject the consolidation process and thereafter close the task. In this process, I can not only automatically identify the duplicative control objectives, I can see the recommendations, but also have a human element in the process so that I, as a compliance owner, can retain as primary, accept duplicative suggestions, or dismiss deduplication suggestions. It, of course, helps me streamline my overall control testing process by maintaining a cleaner, rationalized library, helping me and my organization achieve the goal of test once and comply many. Of course, the entire deduplication process was made very simple with the automated suggestions of duplicative entries and also an out-of-the-box workflow. Thank you.